Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm the Blue Max, and today in Watcher of Realms, we are chronicling the Siege of Tya, which has been going on for the past few days. We've had a little bit of a rough start, but we're beginning to get the hang of this as commanders continue to push further and further into the tiles and focus on taking down the bosses. Let's dive in. So, at the time of recording, we are in the middle of a very unique piece of content in Watcher of Realms called the Siege of Tya. And what it is a world map with hexagonal squares. And we started at the portal, and all commanders across the server have had to work together to move across the map. What are the goals? The goals are to clear 3 bosses: Soul Cadens, Twin Fiend, Lord Phineas, and then move down and fight against Ezrith. Now, along the way, we have been picking up bonuses, faction bonuses, as well as bonuses for specific character types. And I'll tell you, initially, we got off on a real wrong foot. I don't know if that was just because a lot of people weren't reading the documentation or certainly not watching YouTube, or they just assumed that Soul Cadens, who is an epic lord and one of the weakest lords in the game, is probably going to be. I said Soul Cadens, I meant Twin Fiends. Is being one of the weakest lords in the game might be the first target. So I'll tell you, within the first 8 hours or so of gameplay, we were hitting Twin Fiends, and we were barely doing a dent on him. Hardly any damage whatsoever. So, at that point, the majority of players realized that we need to take a step back, focus on getting buffs, and moving towards Soul Cadens and taking him out. Now, along the way, we picked up not only faction bonuses, which are 15% of stats for each individual faction, and if you have a dual faction hero such as Lycan, who can be an Arbiter or Nightmare, he only gets the bonus for one of his factions. It's not like you get to double dip. Now, right now, as of this recording, we have a really important buff we're trying to pick up right here, and that is Iovar's Blessing. And so a lot of these tiles are unlocked through fighting battles that are relatively easy, and they range from let's see if we can find. Okay, there's a hard recommended BP 600,000. Right next to it is a BP of 280,000. Now, I want to point out something. There is no strategic value whatsoever to picking up this tile. This tile doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't have any type of sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. It doesn't have it takes us nowhere. Now, if we click on this button right here, okay, that gives us the tile number, but yeah, there is no evidence that there is any type of buff there that we need to be focusing on. So we need to focus on getting Iovar's Blessing. I mean, look at this. All allies gain an increased penetration, ignoring 15% defense and magic res. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Also, over on this continent, see, we have to cross a bridge. There is several important buffs. Not that one, not Hex's Blessing. This one right here, Blessing of Eagle Eye, and that is increasing the basic attributes of marksmen and healers. So if you're running a poison comp, then that's going to really help with Vorn. We've already picked up the mage buff, but then we also have a buff along the way to Lord Phineas that is super important. So this buff right here, Blessing of Strength, you can see from the icon, it's a fighter. During the Siege of Tya event, increases the basic attributes of all fighters and defenders by 15%. Think about a lot of our very best boss heroes. Sun Wukong, Kagiri, Numera, Count Dracula. What do they have in common? They're fighters. This is super crucial. Now, we as commanders in this game need to focus on getting all of these crucial buffs before then throwing as much morale as we can to take down these bosses. Now, let me tell you some things I absolutely love about this game mode. I love the variety. I love the fact that you have tiles that can be unlocked through donations or deploying heroes, as well as fights that are designed for lower level accounts. Um, Incidentally, if you have a more powerful account such as my own, you need to be focusing on either this Blessing of Strength or Iovar's Blessing, because not every account in this game is going to be able to take out a 1 million BP map. That would be really important. Now, I see this game mode as an incredible step in the progression of Watcher of Realms as a game, and I see it as an opportunity later on to either repurpose this map or build other maps in which we have it to where you are progressing not server wide, because this is kind of chaotic. There's almost no coordination and no real communication. There's no single leader. This screams guild content right here. Whether that's my individual guild of 30 people, the Vanguards of Light, or if we could set it up to where there's a registration period. Say there's going to be a world map coming up in a week, and for the 5 days leading up to it, there's a registration period where you can band together with several other guilds. So, for example, our guild system, the Guardians of Light, this would be a great opportunity for us to get the Guardians, Vanguards, Wardens, um, and saplings together to work together as a group. And maybe they could even have a system in place where you can only have one or two guilds whose combined BP exceeds a certain amount, and you have to bring in guilds with lower BP numbers. It would provide an opportunity for those guilds to be able to push themselves and provide benefit by perhaps doing a lot of the donations, since they don't have the account power to do a lot of hitting. And I will also say, if you haven't tried it, when you do the boss fight, I'm going to click on it, you get the opportunity to invite. Now you can send this out, to the world server, but this is my friends list and this is my guild list. And so if you are in a Discord community like I am, this is an opportunity to hop into voice chat and maybe talk and coordinate amongst yourselves and say, okay, I'm gonna bring Narissa, you bring Elowen, number 3, you bring Rivenhold, and kind of mix and match your support healers and your support heroes and healers to make sure that you have a more rounded and balanced team. This is an incredible step. I mean, the fight itself is pretty trivial. I mean, it's like Nightmare 4 level difficulty in terms of the type of attacks. There have been very few moments where I felt like, "Ooh, I'm about to lose a hero." So it's still basic, but that's how this needs to start. This needs to start not being overly ambitious and so complicated that it fails, but rather um, just keep the mechanics simple and just test out proof of concept the game mode. And I think it's working out really well. So hopefully in the next day or so, or maybe rather in the next few hours or so, we're going to knock out these key buffs, and we should begin taking down Soul Cadens as well as Twin Feed and moving toward Lord Phineas and then Ezra. So like and subscribe to keep up with the channel as we continue to provide updates on this game mode. And I hope this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching.